see what Unicorns decide to prioritize. They have obviously banned the OPs of LeBlanc, Camille, Rengar previously. This time round, they're getting rid of Chase Zyra.
I like it. Hylissang has basically shown his hand in the fact that he doesn't like playing Zyra, and he doesn't like playing Misfortune.
Yeah.
So I wonder why Unicorns of Love have not been playing blue side.
Not going to work out in their favor this time around. Camille, Unicorns, Kha'Zix is one that we're anticipating, or maybe even early pick away.
And they're banning out the Rumble very early here on the Unicorns because they don't want to get H2k in a position where they get to influence top lane and then late pick, or maybe just pick the Rumble early on and then ban out some more top laners in the second phase.
LeBlanc, Rengar still up.
Ooh, they might leave LeBlanc open then. Or they're gonna... H2k, they want to leave both Rengar and Kha'Zix open and have a trade, I think.
Oh, could we have the hunt on the LCS stage?
And now because Kha'Zix is banned...
No. Damn it.
They have to ban Rengar. They almost have to at this point. Or they're basically saying, Xerxes, can you actually play meta champions?
I mean, game one started with H2k saying, we dare you to play Misfortune, Hilly, and it didn't happen. It was the Thresh.
I mean, do you really want to dare somebody to play Rengar in a 1-1 game, best of 3?
Unicorn's answer to that is yes. H2k agree. It's open.
It's open. Damn, you're about to get seriously exposed if you don't pick Rengar here. Because if you don't pick it now, teams are going to keep doing this against you.
Ivern is up as well. I mean, didn't Unicorns lock in Poppy Ivern into Vitality's Rengar last week?
True, they did. But then you also had Vitality playing the Rengar. Now you have Jankos playing the Rengar.
Touche! I accept your counter argument.
I was about to say, like, as much as it sounds nice, you know, okay, we beat it once with a cheese comp, let's not forget that this is Rengar we're talking about.
Oh, what on earth does Jankos do, Crepo? Kha'Zix is banned, Rengar's taken off the table.
I mean, you go down a tier list of jungles, and you definitely pick a jungler in your first rotation. You don't want to dive deeper. Maybe just a Rek'Sai game? Or he tries to snowball on Lee Sin, punish the... And this is within serious quotation marks. Week 1 to 6 from Rengar? Maybe.
So
but he can pick a third. He can pick a third. So if there's priority picks to rush, you can do it here. Probably you'll see 80 carry plus jungle pick here, and then support, or maybe top lane at third for H2k.
All right, Nuclear's going to steal away the Jhin from Samax. He's now played the 3 meta 80 carries in the series. Ashe, Varus, and now Jhin.
Jhin, Lee Sin is something I could see them play. Considering that Rumble's banned out, there's probably not going to be a tank on Odoamne, which means... not going to be a carry on Odoamne, which means it's more likely to play a tank, which means you want to damage jungler. So no Rek'Sai, kind of, is what we're saying here. So yeah, Jhin, Lee Sin makes sense. Then the Unicorns... Oh, I like this. They're basically... Oh, they're switching up the roles here. They're saying, you know what, we don't care what 80 carry we play, we don't care if you pinch it, it's whatever will survive. We're picking mid right now and support, and we have the opportunity to pinch those roles. And now H2k, yeah, they kind of have to decide what role do we want to pick right now, because I think it has to be mid. Which means their supports will be pinched very heavy in the next phase.
So difficult for H2k. With Syndra available, it is locked in. So arguably the safer, maybe stronger earlier game option. It's going to double up with Lee Sin incredibly effectively.
Super skill matchup. Obviously Lee Sin works there. But that means they get a Malzahar and they get to ban out the counter picks because they just put the pressure in the ban phase. I like this the switch up in terms of role selection from the Unicorns. They sacrificed their 80 carry, which H2k is considering squeezing here, but because Samax has shown that he doesn't really care, is it even worth squeezing? That's what H2k is debating right now.
I mean, Samax could always just lean back and play that Caitlyn, which he did last week, if it gets banned. It's not going to right now. Poppy's taken off the table.
Because we can't be like, the meta thing to do here when you have Jhin is ban Ashe and Varus. So often, LCK instantly would do that. But because of the scope of this matchup, H2k is saying, you know what, let's take away power picks. Let's get Poppy away from Visit Chachi. Look for another power pick. Maybe, yeah, one of the 80 carries. So you don't play against the Varus, maybe.
I think the Jace ban is appropriate here. When you look at H2k's team compositions, a lot of tanks up available as well.
Yeah,
Maokai.
I think because Unicorns want to play a tank. The problem is what if H2k ban like Nautilus here and early pick Maokai? What is Vizichachi going to end up playing? I think Nautilus would be a beautiful ban here at the end of the phase. Obviously, there's one more ban for Unicorns. I would ban Misfortune, personally. It's an annoying pick into Malzahar.
Yeah, bounces back and forth, so H2k is going to remove Varus.
Yeah.
At least target that pool a little bit, leaving the Ashe available for Samax if he wanted to run it. Hasn't done so just yet.
Yeah, I was mistaken. It's a bounce. It's not a 1-2-1.
Yeah, it was 1-2-1 on the final pick in phase 2. And that means that Unicorns of Love have one more champion to remove. It is going to be that Maokai.
Okay.
limiting that sort of top-tier tank in the top lane with both Poppy and Maokai gone.
All right, is Odoamne thinking about picking Nautilus then? Matchup-wise, yes, but at this point, does he want to play Nautilus and get camped by some ultra damage pick in the top lane and plus Rengar?
Such a difficult situation. Both of these teams currently 2-0 in their group. This is the third game.
I wish, maybe I'm forgetting a champion here. Wish I had my tier list next to me.
Don't have it right now.
Yeah, interesting.
All right, so it's going to be Gangplank. This could... No, this is top lane.
This is top lane. It's
locked in.
Flex, so it's pretty deep down the tier list here. Blind
pick Gangplank.
Yeah.
I mean, that's surprising. What do you run into Gangplank? Yes.
This is the thing, I don't want to speak wrong because my top lane knowledge isn't as defined as my bot lane ones, but I feel like a good Fiora. Oh, H2k did not mean to pick this champion. Cool, thank God.
Okay.
They wanted Nautilus, I've been told. Oh, I'm not supposed to say that. Well, that's too late, production.
Okay, so just so you guys know, we are dropping from picks and bans.
They definitely did not want Nautilus. I didn't say that.
They apparently did not intend to pick Gangplank. We will review with the stage referees and our production. We are getting fed information.
Some of the information that should go to you guys, some of the information that should apparently stay with me.
Okay.
That's a retro point for us after this broadcast.
We're very excited and we're very... Oh, I've got to make sure I don't drop out of the client here.
Yeah.
Very excited and very interested in what happens now. We will give you guys an update, but as it got towards the end, it was going to be first pick in phase 2. We had anticipated a tank in the top lane.
We had anticipated the Nautilus. It does seem, under the way it stands right now, unless it changes, all bans and picks will remain until the Gangplank point, because Gangplank was an incorrect pick, and technically nothing was revealed on the side and how Unicorns would react there, therefore we can continue still.
Yeah, if the referees are notified before the opposing side has locked anything in, and everything is above board, we can just reset the picks and bans. We'll just get that confirmed for you in just a moment or two. But again now, you know, if we just step back and look at like the big picture, Unicorns pick blue side. They target ban a few champions. They throw in a Rengar, Malzahar, and a Rise. And we're incredibly, I don't want to say surprised, but like, it's another angle. Unicorns and picks and bans, they keep throwing curveballs. They keep surprising both against the meta and against expectations.
This one wasn't as much of a, I think, like a super curveball, like curveball in terms of like, wow, this pick comes out.
Yeah.
I just like what they did with the information, forcing H2k to kind of choose which roles. But then the expected thing didn't really come out. I think both teams were kind of happy with the way the ban phase progresses afterwards.
Oh, really difficult situation to be put in. Figuring out where you go from there. It's the last 4 picks in phase 2 and now need to get locked in. I'll give you guys additional confirmation as we repair the situation. Do you like what the Unicorns are doing? Do you like the fact they're changing things up? You know, going against meta, now they're going very meta.
Blue side is the best choice for them to make. Most definitely so. I like the... Do I like the... Okay, so you have to pick this down.
Okay.
Did I like blue side? Yes. Did I like their bans? Yes. Did I like Rengar first pick? Probably yes, you know. And then Malzahar and Rise, I think, are good champions, especially in the bot lane. If you look at how Hylissang's support champion pool seems to not include Wieldy Misfortune, doesn't favor the Zyra. I think altogether they're drafting a solid foundation. It all depends on how they finish it, obviously.
Yeah. And that's the piece de resistance, isn't it? How do you round it all out, add the pieces together? All right, so just confirmation for absolutely everybody. We have already mentioned this. We will restart picks and bans all the way up to the Gangplank. Nothing will be changed. So we have all 10 bans locked in. We have the first 6 picks, and we will continue the draft from H2k's first pick in phase 2. We do not know what it could be. We do not know what it will be, and we will find out in just a moment.
Yeah, I think that summarizes pretty well.
We got so excited.
We know what I was guessing. We know what I predicted. Let's see if it happens.
To be fair, the prediction was on the table well before anything else happened. Anything else happened.
Any circumstances.
All right, so we're gonna rush through this one.
I predicted picks and bans. Give me the blings.
No, there's no. But we need to actually get that sound effect though. But yes, gonna run through. No changes yet. Camille, Shin, LeBlanc, Poppy, Varus for H2k on the ban side. If we assume a tank gets locked in for H2k,
Yeah, one of the remaining tanks.
what do we then look at for UOL? If we assume whatever pick comes, right?
Well, they're probably going to pick Ashe, I imagine, into this Jhin, because the Varus was banned, and it's very meta. It's a decent, it's an okay matchup, especially with Malzahar, because you also just have so much CC potential.
Is Caitlyn a possibility at all? Only because Samox has played it twice.
Yeah, you can play Caitlyn too if you like a little bit more range into the Jhin matchup. It's a bit of a safer matchup. It has less push, but it has a bit of mobility and traps for zone control, which you may value later. But meta-wise, Ashe is much better.
Okay, so meta versus maybe comfort is the question I guess we're going to find out very, very soon. It'll just be Varus and Maokai to round out the bans, and then we'll see what the fourth pick for H2k is. They're looking for a top laner and a support. With the exception of Zyra, support pool really left quite wide open.
Yeah, Misfortune should be the support here for H2k, in my opinion.
Should be. Hey, look at that!
What a surprise! Oh, he actually opted in for Nautilus here. Completely unexpected. Catches me off guard entirely. I think it's the right choice here as well, because especially when you consider that Lee Sin is a damage jungler. I really like the synergy, you know, one tanker and then one spanker, essentially one damage dealer. And then, since Jankos like Lee, I love playing Nautilus top here, especially since the other tanks are banned out.
You know where my opinion lies on that tanker versus spanker role, and it's going to be the Trundle into Maokai. So the old sort of
Trundle into
Nautilus, sorry, the old school, you know, tank killer.
Ashe comes out, and here you are thinking about maybe Misfortune, and if you're not comfortable with the amount of lockdown, Tahm Kench is also on the board.
Ooh, Tahm Kench would be smart. Instead, it's going to be another melee support, Alistar.
It's really fun matchup to dive into, Alistar versus Malzahar. Played it a couple of times. We'll do that when the game gets a little boring. You're not going to overload people with all the support intricacies. Let's just see how it starts out.
This time around, it feels like Unicorns, with the exception of Trundle, very meta, you know, very strong champions. H2k, a little bit off meta, you know, the Lee Sin, the Nautilus, the Alistar, a little bit lower down those tier lists.
That lane is really hard to play though, Nuclear and Shade. They're up for a tough task here because you don't have any push power. You're playing versus a Malzahar who's in control. The only benefit of being pushed in by Malzahar is that his Voidlings get one-shot by turret shots, so you technically can't get all in, but you're losing the pressure, and you're playing with a Rengar right here.
So much pressure as well. Trundle's going to be playing that side lane. Rengar and Ryze can come in from a decent enough distance, especially once Exile gets a few more levels into that Realm Warp.
Yeah, rotations definitely possible with that Ryze, but the pressure should be on the Syndra early on in terms of push. We saw G2 play versus Fnatic, you know, the 1% play from Caps came out. But early on, Syndra definitely has the pressure.
I mean, do you anticipate pressure now from Jankos? He's on the Lee Sin, he can combo with Nautilus, he can combo with Syndra. Let's say earlier than Rengar can. A little bit of an argument, nuanced debate.
He could kill top lane early as well. Trundle dies early to a gank. It's very early on, you can kill him. And he can definitely use the pressure from mid to then invade and maybe find a Rengar on a buff.
All right, let's find out if Vizicachi becomes the target. Who will remain undefeated in Group B at the end of Week 2 for either Unicorns of Love or H2k? You know the hashtags by now. You can see the team compositions on your screen. We'll get into game soon.
We're teasing you for this one, Trevor.
We really are.
Build hype, just start shouting.
Gonna keep going, gonna keep shouting because Crepo told me to. Ladies and gentlemen, it's the Unicorns of Love taking on H2k in Game 3.
Can you feel the hype, Trevor? The one guy in the crowd does, so do I. It's 1-1, completely unexpected. H2k looking strong week 1. And if you wouldn't know it,
no.
There's a pause.
I reject your pause. I reject your pause. You keep me on like the line for 30 seconds, building up, just to kick me down.
Just to kick you down.
Jankos, I feel you, dude. I feel you. I heard his emotional talk earlier. I'm getting emotional now.
He's emotional, so emotional his mouse is not working.
To be fair, this might be,
Oh, he spilled his drink. No. That's how emotional it is. Hey, that's dangerous. We don't clap for that. That is...
Yeah. Electrical hazards are
No!
not...
Just
like,
you don't want to ruin your favorite peripherals. Screw the
that
electricity.
too.
Like,
That too.
Do you really want to come in with a cold mouse? That's,
You know what?
That matters.
It's fine. I'm going to like the personal health and safety, and you're going to like professional sportsmen.
Dude,
like,
I've
we come
talked
from different angles.
I don't
right?
remember who it was, but there was a pro gamer that had a certain mouse pad, and he's like, okay, I've got a new edition from my peripheral sponsor. I used it, and I didn't feel quite the same. And then I thought, what was the difference? Well, the one was used, so he started like bending it and just bending it double, and I was like, still not quite the same. But what was the other difference? Yeah, I spilled energy drink on it.
Well,
So he actually took a can of an energy drink, unlabeled, and he just threw it over his new mouse pad, and he's like, oh, just like the old one. That's how much it matters for some of these guys, man. You can't mess with the periffs.
oh, I actually am shocked.
Yeah.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to H2k versus Unicorns of Love.
Yeah.
There is still another series to follow this, Misfits versus G2. But before we get to that, who will remain supreme in Group B? There's a lot of bragging rights and pride on the line to go undefeated against 3 of your 4 group opponents.
Watch him wiggle, though.
You do you, Odo.
That's always so satisfying.
What is the tip on the loading screen? It's like, Nautilus can swim in the air. Yeah, he's weird like that.
Yeah.
Something like that?
Yeah.
Most useful tip, seriously, in the whole
positive
game.
summoners win 30% more of their games.
Oh, they do?
Even if, well, they might be positive because they're winning 30% more of their games.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Should tell EUS a little bit more of that.
Yeah.
As, take a closer look. So Nuclear and Che.
Oh, they're going for delayed invade to potentially punish a leash. But H2k is not actually getting put in. Oh, they're going for the steal. Ooh, I like this. Early Voidling spawn. This thing has another Voidling because you can spawn one more. Yeah, there it is. That's the new one. That's the second one of the new one. That's number 3 of the new one. He doesn't insta-spawn them, which is interesting. I would double spawn him if I was Healer Sang, but that's just nitpicking.
This is going to be obnoxious. Not only do Jin and Alistair have to play against Malzahar Ash,
And late ward.
Malzahar blue buff at level 1.
Did Rengar leash? I need to go back. I need to go back if Rengar got a leash.
Okay,
This
while
could be the ultra cheese.
Krepo's taking a look at Xerxes' pathing.
Okay, so he did leash, So, because this could have been an ultra fake leash as well, but that's too much. So they had a good start for Xerxes. He got a leash. And there's a blue steal right now, and Jankos is getting free buffed right now. Only Sin on a swinging matchup versus a super strong jungler in Xerxes. So this means Jankos is eventually going to run out of camps and will need to gank somewhere.
Well,
This could definitely be top lane, so if Vishachachi dies, it's definitely a mistake from Unicorns because he has to expect Jankos to come top. He has no more options.
All right, no options available. Predicting the play. Taking a look at wards. That trinket is in the river just below Vishachachi, and it's fairly new, so that will survive a while.
And there's the ward on Grump. So right now, H2k, if they path to the other side, the Unicorns will spot him eventually. So they know he's not on Grump right now, so they're still scared of this gank early top. Once the ward fades, this is where Xerxes should just invade, and he's doing exactly that. He's probably going to place another ward. Yep, there it is, on the Grump. And they're now scared of Lee Sin being top because the wave is pushed in. Odoamne kind of gave it away that he's not getting the Lee Sin gank. So they should actually know that he's on walls right now, or he will reveal in Grump real soon.
So much information for Unicorns to play with. Let's assume they know, well, they definitely know where Jankos is now.
And this bot lane's super happy, so they know exactly where he is. They know exactly which camp he's cleared. Xerxes is playing with perfect information. Jankos has none. Super uphill battle.
Really exciting start to game 3 as Unicorns really just give H2k the run around the map.
Yeah, let's see if he skilled anything different. Maybe 2 points E, not Q, E, W, just like usual. This is where I would park the wave. That was Unicorns of Love, but they're insta-pushing it again because you have all in potential. Shay is down, still has 2 potions.
Okay, a lot of support, or sustain rather, to play with. Jankos just about walked into Xerxes. Look at the damage!
Can't do that.
The Voidlings! The exhaust! The Voidlings are looking for the kill! Not going to be enough just yet, but Nuclear has to blow the heal and exhaust.
Yeah, so Shay did the right thing if it weren't for those damn pesky Voidlings. So the way they play this matchup, since we're going to see so much of it, let's see if Jankos ganks. Okay, the way it works is that new Alistair can combo into Jin Snare, and then his E is ticking for the additional stun. That is the one-shot combo with the Alistair Jin lane. It's a beautiful one that you can play. The problem is, if you do that combo, Jin's gonna walk up straight into Voidlings. And if you play into Malzahar, you always want to kite away from Voidlings. Let's see if anything happens top here. Nope.
Oh, not yet.
So under that context, that you want to walk away from Voidlings, the correct way to play the matchup is to walk in, force the Voidlings to be spawned, walk back. When they're in cooldown, you go in as Alistar and you try and go for that combo. And you go for the all-in.
There's so much complexity to that play, and Nuclear and Che, you know, earlier when it was the Zyra into Thresh, the complexity around blocking those Thresh hooks wasn't there, so...
Yeah, now it's really easy to play against, but... This is good combo. Samux is on the turret.
Samux, he's under tower!
That's
Why are you so far forward? First blood to Nuclear!
Shay eats the... Oh,
not enough. Oh, easy reply.
And Smalzar. Nice champ.
So, Nuclear and Samux. I think we can evaluate those plays as...
No, that was Shay being really good support right there. Because he dashed in as the volley came out, really, and he took the damage midair, and then he CC'd, and then the damage triggered the turret aggro. But if he did it any later, Samux would have walked out of turret aggro. So that was a perfectly timed combination there from Shay. Follow up from Nuclear. Then they got a little bit greedy because they thought you could win 1v2, but then they remembered they were playing against Malzahar.
A little bit unlucky is the term I'm going to use.
I too see you've been having track of European solo queue.
Trying to, just a little bit. So actually showed his face bottom. All right, so here's a replay.
And so just look at the volley timing. So it comes out, before it even hits him, this guy's comboing in. So he would have gone for the combo anyways because he saw Hylissang go for the ward. So essentially this is a mistake from Hylissang going for the ward without his AD carry backing off. It's mostly the mistake from Samux now backing off, but it's a beautiful capitalization from Che. And he got part lucky, part skill. The volley came out and drew another turret shot. Yeah, beautiful punish from H2k bot lane. This is exactly what you need to avoid. Like, if you're perma-pushing somebody on a tower, you can never, ever let them all in you like that.
And unfortunately, Unicorns did. Samux caught out.
Because they lose their flashes, which means it's an open invitation for Yanko's party.
All right, Ghost up here from Exile. Gets the Room Prison. Keeps throwing out the overloads. Down in the bottom lane, Samux is caught out. It's a 3-on-3. Both junglers available. Xerxes gets kicked backwards. Level 6 for Jankos. That's a double kill for Jankos.
Yeah, he just goes in. The Phoenix aren't enough. Zero hesitation right now because Jankos somehow got level 6 first.
I think Fairby pushed the high IQ button.
He just joined Mensa, guys. Application approved.
Oh my word, in the blink of an eye, H2k find themselves 3 kills and potentially a dragon.
This one feels like solo queue to me. Bot lane dies in a bit of a mistake. Jungler instantly punishes. Mid lane dies in the midst of it.
Depth charge and subjugate traded, but Odo's pushing. Dragon goes down. I mean, this is just such a swinging control.
I want to see that gank again from Jankos. How did that happen? Because that was a beautiful... Did he level up on the gank? Was he level 6 already? There's no way he should have been level 6 before Xerxes.
We caught the blast cone being used by Che and Jankos to at least start it.
But there was a ward, so they saw it coming.
Xerxes, level 5, going up against Odo's level 7. So depth charge, available just yet.
Oh, no,
throws out the minefield. No, not going to get caught out, and he can't get away to the wall. Easily run down.
And that's Xerxes level 6 right now, and he needs to capitalize on that ultimate while Kick is coming off cooldown. Let's look at it again, Trevor. So they saw the ward, or was disabled. Good flash combo into W, clean. They should leave him here. Xerxes actually goes in. He flashed in. Xerxes flashed in there.
Too eager.
5. Yeah. See that one.
Too eager, gets punished for it. While that gank was going on, Exile also died in the mid lane. We can only assume it was a stun ult combo, or it could just be a
You can
ult.
see it in the earlier trade that Fevin was very aware of his damage because he's playing against a non-exhauster with the gold splash Rise. He was getting hit by Rise and he had the minion in the air or the sphere in the air with the W. He was basically ready to unleash everything onto Exile. He did that moments later.
Yeah, managed to get the kill. So stun onto Exile, Force of Will, Thunderlords, unleashed power as well. It's blue buff for blue buff.
Yeah, just keeping him back in the lane, using that cooldown advantage because now he enables Jankos to invade. Because Fevin has the power in the mid lane. Look at the vision in this jungle. That's how you shut down a Rengar. He can go invisible, but not from everywhere.
And it's also the implied knowledge, right? Yeah. Which camps are up, which camps get focused on.
Well, this is complete map control from H2k.
Really good play indeed. Vizicachi tries to interrupt that dredge line. And Odo.
Ooh, Malzahar flash ulti is the only play, but look at it. H2k is so aware. They see them on 3 wards at once.
A lot of information to play with, and H2k applying pressure. Exile, Flash, and Ghost is available. The stun finds its target. Here comes the Jankos for the 3rd.
That was some sexy plays. I love it. The QE from Fevin, perfect on the edge of the range. Jankos ward dashes in, Q. There's nothing Exile can do despite flashing. This is textbook snowball.
It's so good. Jankos locked in that Lee Sin, first rotation. Shay ran into Xerxes as well. Some support onto this tower pressure. I don't think they've got enough damage to kill it just yet, but they've chunked it down to 40%, and tower first blood, that bonus gold will be available. Because even look, Odo's pushing top lane as well.
Yeah, and you have to remember how this match is supposed to go. All the pressure point, the main pressure point for Unicorns of Love was supposed to be this bot lane. You farm and push safely, but with poke pressure until level 6, at which point you get both Enchanted Crystal Arrow and you get Malzahar ulti, which means you just can kill people. And then they made the crucial mistake of dying early, and Jankos, he saw a small window, he jumped through it.
Well, Jankos gets spotted out by the Hawk shot. You know, for all the criticism that we've taken a look at H2k's slower paced bottom lane, Che had a fantastic opportunity, which he punished.
Yeah, and that was it in week 1. This is the mid lane gank again here. Just focus on Febiven. He acts like he's warding around the corner, and then he just comes back in. He's playing in a passive mindset, saying, okay, I definitely need to ward because I might get ganked here. My jungler's definitely not nearby, not at all. And then he just turns on QEs.
Gets the Oscar. Perfect, you know, acting performance.
And that was Nuclear and Shay in week 1. They were pretty passive. And they were down in CS, and yes, they moved away from the turret, but they were still losing matchups a bit harder than they should have. And they weren't in communication with their team. Now, good juke from Exile.
Yeah, Ghost comes out. Exile puts a decent burst of damage onto Jankos. It ends up losing out thanks to Unleashed Power. All right, now take a look at the jungle. Jankos decides to engage. Can't be disabled. Very nice roar from Xerxes. Jankos is locked down. Ashara comes out. Hilly's in trouble though. Curtain call being fired from Nuclear. Tagged up Samax. The second and third shots won't though.
Oh, Hylissang is so used to having the game plan pattern of WWR that he forgets he spawns his Voidlings behind the wall. He didn't have his cursor over the wall before he flashed. That could have actually been a kill on Jankos.
Fortunately doesn't. Mechanical misplay, and that means Unicorns lose out on another kill. Take a look in the mid lane. Febiven. There's no Unleashed Power available. There's no support just yet. Elsewhere on the map. But H2k, I mean, what a fantastic early game.
Yeah, now Shay is roaming. He's implying potential turret dive with that ultimate he's available. They survive to level 6. They're even CS. Turret 1 opens up. At this point, it's a playground for H2k. 3,000 gold up.
I mean, it was kind of what H2k had to do. You know, they had the Lee Sin, they had the option for those plays. Can combo in so many lanes.
Yeah, but they got back from a 3 buff on jungler here. Even if he jukes it, it's damage. Look at Hylissang. Spawns 2 Voidlings to the wall, flashes over. And they auto aggro onto Jankos, and they instantly multiply to 6, and at that point, Exile could have finished him off, maybe. It's those mistakes you can't afford to make from behind.
No, absolutely cannot. Especially when it was H2k that, you know, they were invading.
Yeah, but yeah, H2k was invading because they had the prio on both lanes. They just forgot that like Hylissang kind of wandered off, but they had priority in mid, so that's why their mid laner was there so much faster, and Jankos actually had the backup.
All right, so H2k, 6 kills to 2, 3,000 gold in the lead. CS advantage very heavy in the mid lane, plus the kills.
Hylissang's roaming right now. He wants to find picks. You could actually see Nuclear for going bot lane, join the Fiesta in the top side of the map, and he's downing. Look at it, he's pacing back and forth in the base. He went from mid to bot, now back to mid, because he realizes it doesn't matter what we give Ash, we can 5v4 topside.
All right, so Odoamne and Shay looking for an engage. Odo gets locked down by the Nether Grasp. Conjunction with the Malefic Visions, that's a kill. They've traded support and jungle for top. That's a shutdown kill. Xerxes leaping in and out. Unlimited power fired from Febiven, but it will not pick up the kill this time round. Ash Arrow sidestep. Here comes Nuclear. Needs to be careful. Aggressive flash. Exile is sent packing. Here comes Xerxes. Gets another. Xerxes rooted down. Nuclear simply too late. The indecision.
Yeah.
Did it cost them?
Yeah, it definitely cost him. He could have been there at least 7 seconds earlier, which means he was definitely in flash heal race for some of these players. But with that in mind, if your AD carry is going to take that long to get there, why overchase if you're H2k? Unicorns of Love are already committed in your jungle. You saw Hylissang there. They had the information. They simply overcommitted, overestimated their own power, and underestimated Unicorns' force. Look at it again. So they have knowledge that Chachi's here, Hilly's here, Xerxes here, and then they're still overchasing right now. Che fails the combo. He gets pillared, so he just combos in place. He has nothing left, and that means Xerxes is untouched. Look, 7 seconds difference means Nuclear would have well been here already, peeling for Febiven, essentially dealing an auto Q in the fight, stepping back and then ulting. That would have been the difference.
And unfortunately, did not work out. So that's the equalizer. All of a sudden,
And Xerxes is back in the game as well.
that's the worst thing. 3 kills and an assist. So come out of that, what does that complete? Phage, Warrior Enchant, another Control Wood. There's 2 QSSs on the side of H2k.
So there's a damage trough on them, catered around the abilities of the Unicorns of Love. It's a good build, but they're slightly weaker in terms of raw power. So their snowball slows down.
I think that's important to note when you look at total gold accrued and combat stats it can actually bring to a fight.
Yeah. Next fight is going to be crucial for either party here. It is the pivotal moment, and it might be centered around this Mountain Drake.
All right, Mountain Drake tagged off here by Yankos. I'm looking at the map. No deep vision to play with, and Exile does not seem to care.
Yeah,
though
Xerxes if he ulties. That's all. Just
Xerxes
teleport
may
in.
want to. I feel like he could. Thrill of the Hunt is available. Dragon's already secured. That's a hop over the wall. Shay gets a 3-man knockup. Xerxes is shut down already. Odo's teleported in from behind. It's a double kill for Feathervin. He does get killed in the trade though. Samux follows shortly. So far it's 3 for 1. Shay may get shut down. 3 for 2, and H2k are running for their lives. Odo gets room prisoned in place, and Unicorns, good response.
Yeah, good response, but what a magnificent use of the Blast Cone there by the Alistar. That was really well played. He gets a 3-man knockup right there. Really making that play work for H2k, because they allowed them to pierce through the backline and get to Samux as well.
And of course, that damage trough just allows Vizicachi and Exile to run them down. It's a scary combo.
If you're H2k, you're super happy here. You get a ton of summoners, and you get a dragon. You can kill. Watch this again. So he hops over, combos, waits long enough for the Q. So he doubles using Hylissang, waits the 0.25 seconds on the fade on the passive, and then combos up. And then Hylissang's caught, and he can't suppress Jankos, which completely allows Jankos to assassinate Samux there. So that was the fight-winning and potentially game-turning play again for H2k.
The scaling potential of a Rise and a Trundle, is that something H2k need to be so careful of?
Yes, but there's so much CC on the side of H2k as well. Like, this guy does a ton of damage, but you can knock him up with Alus ulti.
Oh my word, Odo's got to run for his life.
Yeah,
There's no flash. Vizicachi's got red buff. Big shield from that Titan's Wrath, but it doesn't matter.
So the Rise you can CC. Trundle,
yeah, good luck.
yeah, have fun with that one. Because he's on the side lane, he's always pushing. It's his lane priority that's going to be your problem.
Man, this game has just got so much more interesting. It looked like it should have been over for H2k.
Yeah, and their picks don't scale that well, in my opinion.
Shay goes for the Pulverize. There is support coming for H2k. Ash Arrow. Oh, not going to get sidestepped, actually. There's no flash available.
He couldn't. It's too fat.
Shay, unfortunately, cut down where he stands.
Yep, that's the problem. Alistair, man. Them cows have big bones.
I mean, this is very exciting.
So Unicorns right now have the game in their hands. There is the applied power because of the double QSS. Exile.
All right, Nuclear, 1 misses. 2. 3 hits.
Turns around.
4 connects, and Yankos runs away. Good stun onto Xerxes, but instant battle roar. Rengar, man.
I mean, come on.
Well, that's why it's bad. Now remember, H2k banned LeBlanc instead of Rengar. They opted into that, and it was first picked by the Unicorns of Love.
Yeah, they were hoping that Unicorns would again go for the Iron Bait and switch and get another priority champion, but turns out Unicorns eventually figured out that Rengar really busted.
Maybe the best indeed. Xerxes obviously didn't have the biggest early game impact, but it is Rengar. You anticipate that.
But I like the aggressive level 1 too. The late invade to potentially screw with an Alistar. You can just voidling spam and then leave, let them wreak havoc. Or, in case you don't fight them, you just simply take the blue buff. So that was all super well started by H2k, by Unicorns of Love rather.
Yeah, very intelligent start by Samux and Hylissang.
Yeah, and they still got to push because they could never get punished by a melee support. That is just a range disparity in that bot lane.
Damage is slowly being picked up. Nuclear, double longsword, that BF sword, needlessly large rod now for Feathervin. Black Cleaver actually picked up for Xerxes.
Samux is trailing behind, but he's a utility bot. There's plenty of damage this time in the Unicorns of Love composition.
Oh, yes.
Previous iterations left them with 2 carries, 1 mid, 180 carry, but right now Chachi deals damage, Xerxes is Rengar, and Exile is a hyper-scaling mage.
And the Unicorns team composition can really do quite a lot. They're pretty good at skirmish, they've got a fairly strong team fight, they have a strong split push.
Insanely good 1-3-1. Rise on the side lane with that ulti, and then the fact that you have Malzahar mid to make picks if the other team opts into a 1-3-1. is definitely what they want to go for, and that's exactly what they're doing right now. Look at it. They put double CC plus jungler mid. It's a jungler that can go invisible to any side lane. It's a side laner with teleport, and it's another side laner with a somewhat global ultimate.
Yeah.
Okay, not global. Let's call it a transportation unit.
Yeah.
And both of them have side lane priority right now. That's important, which means they can always push waves, peel off, and flank, and set up potential dives.
All right, Chachi with the ward line and pressure in the mid lane. Throws down the pillar of ice. In this case, it's a traffic cone. H2k looking to defend. Odo's going all the way forward.
Trundle must be in Britain.
And Unicorns not willing to commit to the extended siege. I mean,
no, they don't have to. It's just all map movement. It's kind of accordion, you know? Pull it open, make the map big, collapse again, play a bad tune, okay, pull it open again, until you hit that note. That's when you dive.
The thing is, when they collapse that accordion, Rengar running in, Ryze running in, Ashara running in. I mean, look at that. That's just Xerxes onto Jankos. Oh, indeed. That's Tower chunked down to 30%.
Look at that. I like this from H2k. Immediate punish.
Let's take a look. H2k are running away.
Everything missed, Trevor.
Yeah, very close.
All right.
H2k still on the defensive. They blew their teleport, but they got Visit Chachis, and they're still holding on to the tower. All of a sudden, it's the pressure game.
It was a smart move. They just saw a little bit of opportunity to group up, and it's a dragon spawning immediately, so they don't get punished for kind of wasting that teleport.
Yeah, they really did.
Really?
Odoamne gets locked down by that Nethergrass. Hylissang, maybe the wrong target. Exile gets decent bounce of damage on the side lane, but it's Xerxes that's down. Chachi's gonna fall suit. So far, H2k are winning. They've caught Exile, stunned him, rooted him. Can he get one more? No!
There was zero hesitation on the side of H2k. They immediately punished Hylissang, and again, Shade W's in, breaks the passive from Malzahar, waits 0.25 seconds, immediately pulverizes. Instant cancel, or, well, as much as instant could be on that Malzahar ulti, and they just unleashed everything on top of Hylissang. HK do not like him.
Hey, who cares about a damage deficit with 2 QSSs if you can pick the right targets?
Yeah, or if the target flashes in 2v5 for no transparent reason. This was a major blunder from the Unicorns, and they need to maybe steal this Baron.
Can Samux be the hero? He's got no support, and the answer is no. Backing away. Che decides to back out. Hilly may be able to get at least a reply. Nuclear's caught out. Not going to be able to flash. One for Baron in the team fight. Overall, H2k are happy.
And it was technically stealable because there was no smite available, so it was a bit of a gamble from H2k, but I think it was the right call to make right there.
Absolutely was. And hopefully we get a replay of that decision-making from UOL,
yeah,
because
I want to look at the vision they had, and maybe if some of the team members pathed it away when they could have turned quicker. Because that will decide whether that was a good or a bad call, and see what Hylissang was actually trying to do right there.
I mean, is it, maybe it's a little harsh, but like Unicorns as a team have been very eager, very aggressive. They commit to a play, and that may have been one where maybe they shouldn't have. Well,
they definitely shouldn't have, but
yes.
Let's figure out just how big the mistake was overall. But I love the punish though immediately from H2k. Usually when you get flashed on like that, your first instinct is to kind of leave somebody behind. It's like, oh yeah, we made a mistake, we're getting picked off. They immediately turned around, punished Hylissang. If everyone instantly pressed R on Hylissang instead of trying to save it for somebody else, it was definitely overkill. Look at it, Rengar's not here. Ash just cleared a wave, and Ryze isn't even close.
Oh.
Yet he flashes in. And then
Odoamne of all targets.
And then Trundle gets knocked back by Shay, but his Champo, I think, pops the passive, and then he Qs later, so that was really good peel by Shay. And yeah, simple cleanup.
Questionable decision-making.
Yeah.
Ends up hurting them. Hylissang now, he's got their Rylai's completed, but has to somehow deal with Baron empowered minions for at least another 2 and a bit minutes.
And this swings those side lane matchups that we talked about. Unicorns of Love can no longer afford to play their comp out in the 1-3-1. They're forced to play 4-1 at best and match. And all the engage potential is gone because there's a double Q assess. They should get picked up a bunch of gold. They also have oceans ticking in case they ever get poked. So definitely another game swing, this time in favor of H2k.
Yeah, I know I'm bringing us back to this matchup a lot, but at what point does Jankos' Lee Sin, which was picked up in that first rotation, become worrisome against Xerxes Rengar? Because obviously the pick and the
in a straight
scaling...
duel almost all the time at this point, but his role is different, right? Just to kick the carries.
Well, there's a Chachi's the one that's been kicked this time around. Nuclear's going to at least tag with the curtain call. Ashara onto Odoamne. but Vizichachi's down. He's really the front line. Xerxes gets head-butted away. Hilly's looking for Febiven, unleashed power. Febiven gets locked down. QSS isn't enough. And now Che is running away. Xerxes leaping forward aggressively.
Yeah, a bit of a miscommunication about what should happen after that pickoff for H2k. Unicorns of Love win a fight, still with the ultimate cooldown from Hylissang. It was down the ultimate and he still found some slows. Obviously very annoying to play against that new Rise Crystal Scepter.
Yes.
Reformed into more of a supportive item build, much more affordable, but essentially doing the same thing, just slowing people down enough that they keep getting hit, getting slowed even more.
If you look at that team comp, it's nearly impossible to get away if you're ever caught. Like Ashe, Ryze, Rengar, Malzahar with Rylai's. You simply cannot put distance between yourself and the UOL comp.
And H2k need to pick smart fights, and they also kind of get out scale on damage. Ryze puts out more damage over time in a team fight than a Syndra does. He's kind of sturdier.
Yeah.
Like Syndra could maybe match it, but Ryze just has more flexibility in where he positions in the fights.
Absolutely.
And if everyone uses QE combo on as the Malzahar passive right there as well. Let's watch this again. So Vizichach is going down. There's the rotation, push mid, go bot from H2k. All good at this point. But Ryze and Rengar are coming from the base. That's the Realm Warp right there. You see that you got to peel. Let's see if they had the opportunity to leave somebody behind. Ram is dying. Yeah, he has flash. So this is... Look at Feven. He walks up QEs onto Hylissang, who has passive. So if he did an auto maybe into QER, that was an equal trade. And it's basically Feven trying to help Odo, who flashes. Che trying to help Feven, who then walks out. And then Che dying for it.
Everybody trying to help everybody. Can anybody help Vizichachi?
Nope.
Exile's in the bottom lane. Chachi's been caught by everything. Good flash over the wall. Jankos follows with a resonating strike. Here comes Exile as well as Hilly. Xerxes can come in. Thrill of the Hunt is available. So is the Crystal Arrow. Does Samux fire it? Xerxes waiting. He can leap onto somebody. It's caught out onto Che.
But they know where he is. So people have this ominous feeling that when a Rengar ulti, you can't know where he's striking from, but the closest target always gets the eyes on him. And when that changes, you can see where he would roughly be on the map, especially if you consider his point of view. And if he's close enough to you, you will see him. So it's definitely, you're definitely able to spot where a Rengar is. Too many people just panic all the time.
Yeah, I do. Whenever a Rengar jumps onto my head, I'll lose sight of the bigger picture. And Unicorns did not. After falling significantly far behind in the early game, they've bounced back. They've won multiple team fights. Like, Chachi is already becoming terrifying. Spirit Visage is so close to being completed.
And the problem right now for H2k is especially Xerxes in terms of power spikes. He's got his core of Warriors and then Black Cleaver. And then his first defensive item is going to be that Random Lens, which means he can look to either duel Jankos efficiently or jump Nuclear or jump Feven and kill him. And then obviously be very efficiently itemized against who remains. Unicorns of Love with their favorite thing in the world right now, camping in the brush. Waiting.
I wish we had the ability to track how much
brush
time.
uptime?
Yes, yes.
I mean, we are recruiting interns.
we should.
Put them on the case.
Look, there we go. We got 4 of them now.
That's not it, by the way. I love our stats, guys. You guys asked for a graph? Of some uptime? No, this is goal difference.
But that's the swing. You know, Unicorns of Love. Finding some team fights. Jankos gets caught out, but there's no follow-up. Not yet, anyway. Teleport's available for both top laners, and Chachi has got access to his level 3 Subjugate.
Yeah, key members to watching these fights is definitely the damage output from Exile. And Hylissang in terms of who he can CC. Shay has a really hard task of peeling efficiently here.
It really does. Got the ultimate available if he gets caught out. And we also need to look at what Hylissang decides to do. His target selection has been left.
Frontline, he should just spawn. By the way, you can spawn Voidwings mid-Nautilus Q. They become targetable before they're visible.
All right, Vizichachi throws down the Subjugate, starts healing. Che uses the ulti as well. Odo's retreating. Xerxes looking for a kill. Odo flashes defensively before throwing out the mine. Hylissang is cut down by the mine, and all of a sudden Exile is now targeted. Gets a very big shield, and they end up trading 1-for-1. Support for top.
Yeah. Unicorns of Love daring to the front line. Chachi now has to kite away. They kind of left him hanging. It's definitely debatable because something cancelled Hylissang's ultimate.
Yeah, gonna be able to work out really in a defensive way. Dragon is available.
And he wasted his flash for it. We can go back and technically ask the question, why didn't he just go for Alistar? The new ultimate is definitely burstable. It leaves you with a frontline target down. They really wanted to one, but technically he's used all his skills already.
Very sloppy, messy team fights.
But H2k definitely losing them much faster now. Look how much they were playing on the back foot there, looking to turn pushes again. So it starts out, Oda going in, no block with the W. And then right here, I think they can just focus Shay. Instead of going for the flash ulti on Oda Wamne.
Cancelled it himself.
No, he got coned.
Okay.
He got coned by Vizichachi, I think. That must have been, or he cancelled it himself with a bad spell input.
Yeah.
But either or, that was an over-aggressive flash from Hillesang. It was the right idea, for sure. So we credit them 7 points, but we subtract 1 or 2, obviously, for execution error.
I'll go with 2 points for now. Jankos and Oda Wamne very far away. There is a teleport available, and there are so many wards to TP to. Odo's going to jump into the pit. Che finds Hillesang before Che is now backing away. He's going to need to use that ultimate if required. Odo's caught down by the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, Nether Grasp, and Baron. But Baron has been stopped.
That's the problem with layered engages here. Che went in because he had to, but Oda Wamne wasn't there yet. Now our eyes are on Xerxes. Can he make a pick?
Following Xerxes around the corner. And ultimate lost a very long time now, and the Unicorns, they simply re-engage the Baron.
Yeah, Boardwings come out here from Hillesang.
Xerxes looking for a target. He's jumped onto Nuclear, almost shot him down. Xerxes running away. Febervin as well. All of a sudden, Unicorns, they've peeled from Baron. Malefic Visions tearing through Jankos' HP. Che is killed. The bowler strike onto Febervin. Unleashed power's not enough. Hillesang survives. Nuclear is cut down. Rengar closes the fight for UOL.
H2k are simply getting outscaled and punished by the Unicorns. The Baron start forces a layered disengage from H2k. Che goes in, his cooldowns go down, he backs out, and then Oda Wamne steps forward. He gets suppressed with no Q assess. And all that soaking, all that buying time with no return damage from H2k is essentially time wasted.
And that just allows Unicorns to take absolute control. Once again, back to the Baron pit. Smite is available for Jankos. He's on 30% HP. Surely he can't get in range.
Surely.
Surely.
Surely a red side
Surely not.
Surely's not in this game, Trevor.
All right, I'll stop calling him Shirley then. 4,000 HP on the Baron. Xerxes being very careful. Exile caught up by the depth charge. Jankos and Odo trying to interrupt. Importantly, they've stopped the Baron. Nether Grasp holds down Odo in his place. But they've given over 2 more kills just to stop Baron.
They stopped the Baron because they didn't have vision on how low Xerxes actually was. They could have played that slower if they had the information, but they did not. Now Che is looking to sneak in some cheeky wards.
Love Hurt's crew in the audience cheering Fear Our Horns. The Unicorns looking like they could upset H2k.
Yeah, because look at here, Che goes in combo, it's fine. It's peeling, it's buying time, but they all step backwards while Oda Wamne steps forwards. Look at Febervin, there's no immediate aggro on Exile. Exile is getting untouched, so essentially Oda Wamne traded his life for nothing because of good positioning, good target selection by the Unicorns. Their patience got rewarded. Now they're finally getting that Baron that they set up for.
And now it's just up to Unicorns to close.
Yeah.
You know, they've played from behind. They've bounced back. In the only real positive sign here for H2k is the 4 dragons.
Yeah, but it's the wrong kind because they're not playing as the Pokemon for 1. So 3 Oceans essentially rendered useless. And they also don't really have access to that Elder Dragon. It takes too long.
Yeah, it
so
really
easy
does.
for Unicorns to pounce on them. If they can stall for next Baron, and they can somehow trade Elder for Baron, that could be the way in.
I mean, the pivotal picks this game has really felt like it's that Rise and to a lesser extent the Ashe. You know, Ashe arrows time and time again have been very pivotal. We haven't even seen Chachi really commit to split pushing.
I mean, because it's been fight all the time. Right now, he's going back to that one for sure.
Baron Empowered minions plus a GA.
H2k is looking to pull the trigger right here. They're looking at Shay to maybe flash combo somebody or flash W into exhaust if they see double reveal on side lanes, because Samix doesn't have teleport. But they're essentially setting up a 4-1 rotation here. They're just pushing in mid one more wave if you're Unicorns, and then they're going to rotate 3 remaining members to top side. Maybe leave Rise mid. They can play a 3-1-1 technically.
Yeah.
Samix is struggling a little bit. It's like, do I go to mid with my team? Does my team want me to push out top? Like, where are these guys? Can I do it safely? So it's a moment of hesitation.
Well,
Second they see people mid, he'll push in.
Yeah, that's something that, you know, UOL as a team could definitely work a little bit more on. Team fight commitment is 100% on the same page. But just making sure they play around the map, very, very efficient rotation from mid to top, and they
It's clean.
take an uncontested tower.
Now the mid is pushed out, so you could debate when you send Exile back, but I think they're just going to go for this turret here. Put some pressure.
Good route onto Exile. Jankos thought about the chance because Chachi was pushing Odo all the way back.
I mean, Chachi wants to join this, so okay, I don't like that one. So look, he's mid, but he's not going for the wave. So this is inefficient split push right here. They're wasting a lot of time.
How much time is left on that Baron? About 1/3 of the cooldown.
H2k is happy with this. H2k know right now that they got away with more than they should have. Because H2k as a team, they would know how to play this out.
Yeah, playing the late game decision making. I mean, we're 35 minutes in, 37 kills on the board. Items are advanced, game is advanced.
I mean, it's definitely late game because the average game time is somewhere around 30 or 37 or 38 minutes right now.
Well, from game 2, it could end in 2 minutes. One big team fight. Elder Dragon jumping into the pit, and it looks like H2k considering it.
No, they just realized actually that Unicorns of Love have a really hard time sieging. So they're just going to make the map very, very small. H2k, Unicorns of Love, on the other hand, they're looking for picks. They're looking for Ryze ulti, Rengar ulti. And that's the vision. They know it's on Elder, but it's a zero Dragon Elder. Essentially, they don't care. They're going to stall and basically turtle up until the next Nasher. Unless Unicorns make something happen, but they're about to lose the Baron buff. So we're at least looking at 4 more minutes for this game.
Longer if H2k want to win. Because not only do they then need to regain control, they need to assert control.
Yeah, but the problem is it's probably going to swing on a Baron fight anyways.
Okay.
I think that's what it's going to be. Or this siege right here. Let's see if... Yeah, Unicorns can't split push. Well, then you just group.
Group up as 5. You've got that GA.
Run it down bot.
There's a Chachi. Yellowstone's passive gets popped, but there's not a lot more than that. Scatter the weak. The stun. There's a root from Nuclear on that deadly flourish.
The wave just disappears instantly. So Unicorns of Love again. They go 5-man and they figure out they can't break the base. So they reassess.
And, you know, UOL, they played on 2 lanes most of this series.
They had a brief moment where they were playing 1-3-1, where it was actually H2k that forced them back into 2 lanes. And their comp is catered to play on 3 lanes.
Yeah.
Especially since Ryze is Realm Warp, which is the, especially when you're sieging, the span between one lane and the other.
But that's like one of those abilities as a team that comes much later on in the team's growth and development. Trusting and calling and leveling up that communication. Now,
they're finally going.
They're
finally going for what they should have done with the Masher. So they're figuring it out as they go. Let's see if they can break open the base. Obviously, they're playing against Wave Clear now because the Baron buff has expired.
Yeah, it makes Fairbairn and Nuclear a little bit more powerful. It is one as well, to be fair.
It is a good stalling tool, however. If you safely do this and you're just pushing the wave and you wait for them to react, and you just nibble away at the outsides, then you can get a little bit of damage here and there and maybe find an opening.
Yeah, we can hear Thrill of the Hunt. Xerxes yells. Che gets a good knock-up. Exiles the target. He's down. That's a big damage source for UOL. H2k look for the re-engage. Crystal Arrow at least slows H2k. So does it Nethergrass. Odoamne is melted. Bizachachi gets locked down, pulled back with the dredge line. He's still got a GA, and even with a man down, H2k cannot win the fight.
Yeah, but they soak the key cooldowns, which is the Trundle ultimate and the Malzahar ultimate. That's exactly what they want to avoid right there, not dying to that brutal combination. They will lose their tower, however, but I think they're okay with this.
Tower's about to fall. Odoamne gets rooted in place, and H2k, their base is opened.
Their base is open, but still they thwart multiple push attempts from the Unicorns. They survive the Zero Dragon Elder, and the Baron buff has been expired. Baron spawns in the next minute and 20 seconds. But again, we haven't really talked about it. The combination, it's percent damage, plus Voidling, plus target lockdown from Hylissang, and if Vizichachi takes away all your resistances with that ultimate.
There's no way to survive.
Yeah, a flash out.
And if H2k have to win a team fight, if it goes to a team fight instead of a pick or a skirmish, we've just seen how difficult it is for them.
Yeah, but again, Shay, zero hesitation. QE from Febiven, hit behind the turret. Really good follow-up from Shay. Instant one-shot. And you just see that the turn potential in this comp though. Arrow, and look at how quick Odoamne just gets melted, especially once Trundle applies that ultimate. You saw the difference in like damage flow the second that ultimate came available.
Yeah, Subjugate's so huge.
Exile 0 damage.
Hell, I mean, when you get caught, that's going to dictate it. Crystal Arrow is available for Samek, so if H2k continue to push out this far, it is a possibility.
At this point, it's not about base anymore. It's just about pushing in and rotating from Baron here. So that's why H2k, they're looking to fight back ASAP.
All right, decent damage onto Vizicachi. Here comes Xerxes.
It's another cooldown that they get for free.
Yeah.
They haven't really spent much on it.
We're not really seeing... Oh, okay, hold that thought. Curtain call onto Samex. Yanko Sonoda trying to chase him down. Cooldown used as well. Nothing outside of that. Yeah, very important. Samex steps too far forward. Che can lock him down.
At this point, it's all about kind of moving around and then somebody on the outskirts of the fight missteps and get dragged in or locked down on either side. So that's why Odoam is looking for, you know, these anchors. There's 2 wards in the pit, but they're both disabled by the control ward.
All right, so no vision.
Oh, there's actually one that's
just outside of that range.
Oh, they're both outside of the range. Unicorns are left. If they play solo queue on 7.2, this will not happen, but they're not used to it.
Okay, H2k starting to back out. Odoamne caught by the Crystal Arrow. He's got a GA, remember. Xerxes being tagged up, splitting from the side. Xerxes looking for a target. Febiven holding on to that unleashed power. Xerxes found Febby, gets chunked down with the unleashed power. They've traded mid laner for jungler. Now Odo's killed as well. Yankas in the back line. H2k are routed and they're running for their lives. There's no one left alive.
Yeah, perfect timing on pulling the trigger. Hylissang unleashes in the front line and it keeps everybody looking at him. That exact moment, Xerxes jumps in and it's a complete whitewash here. Beautiful teamfight execution. Beautiful Baron bait there, even from Unicorns. They bounce back from a game that should have been H2k's.
The Unicorns of Love were 3,000 gold down in the laning phase. Yankos was a monster, and they didn't care. They bounced back to win 2-1 and remain in control of Group B.
And again, this roam from Hylissang into the top side, that overchase that we talked about, communication error of how far Nuclear was. He was pacing back and forth in base. That was one moment that the Unicorns needed to get back to the base, and they used it. All right, they called it a scrim game. It was actually the definition of a scrim game.
It really felt like it. Crepo, to go back to picks and bans, H2k banned 2 of the 3 OPs. They banned Camille, they banned LeBlanc, and then they banned Shin instead of Rengo. Now, Rengo wasn't the pivotal champion this game, but that
was
last
winnable
fight
by both teams, but it's still very risky to leave his Rengar open.
That last fight, the threat that Febiven and Nuclear felt as they were backing away.
It doesn't help that they were standing on top of each other. Obviously, you want to feel comfort and safety in numbers, but not maybe that close, because he got the bonus AoE damage right there. But yes, back and forth game. I think both teams can definitely analyze these replays because there's plenty to learn and improve. But in the end, what we see is a sense of consistency for fight engagement from the Unicorns. They are figuring out macro in the games.
Yes.
So they definitely realize the way to play the game kind of shifts around over time, and they improved.
It's very exciting. There's a lot of growth opportunity for Unicorns of Love, maybe more than we've seen in a while. We're going to send it over to the analyst desk, take a little bit closer look at how Unicorns won 2-1.
The Unicorns of Love take down H2k and prove a lot of non-believers wrong, and especially these two here at the desk, and I think some other people in our crew as well. So in the end, are we ready to admit that the Unicorns of Love find more openings in games like this?
Well, they definitely are a team that have come out swinging. They're definitely a team that seem to be very promising, but as Crepo mentioned, there are many instances where we have to criticize H2K as well as praising the Unicorns for their success.
So they're better.
Debatable. There are many opinions you could argue for and against.
Yeah. So in this particular instance.
Yeah, I mean, we have to respect that UOL showed better play today than they have done the previous week. So I think they're looking very good today. But obviously, I also think that H2k had some flaws in their play that they didn't do against us, for example. So if that is us being worse than you all, I'm not sure. We will see.
Well, draft, however, we saw it for a second, and you guys both said really happy with the draft from the Unicorns of Love, getting off to a good foot in Game 3.
I think what you can look at the draft is that they get the counter pick on top with the Trundle, so he will have side lane pressure on Nautilus the whole game. And then on top of that, they have the Ryze into Syndra, which I think can swing both ways. Syndra is stronger in lane, but Ryze can do more later on. So.
Here's a replay.
That's a replay.
But also another thing we wanted to mention about the draft was how advantageous it was for the Unicorn of bottom lane, right? Because you have Ashe, Malzahar, and the amount of pushing power that they have to then get punished so hard here is actually really good for H2k, because giving away first blood to then burn your flash, just set up for Jankos to then make a repeat gank in the bottom, like this early game was just so promising for the side of H2k.
The important thing in the replay we see here is that Jankos actually, he got counter level 1 with the Malzahar taking his blue, but regardless of this, he actually hit level 6 before Saxes, so that was kind of the turning point in the bot gank here, and they executed it really well. And from this, they should be able to snowball the game, but some unlucky stuff.
Yeah, because at the same
point.
time of this, remember that Feb even got a solo kill on mid against the Ryze as well. So you've got a winning now mid lane, you've got a winning bottom lane, and then things just kind of go awry later on.
All you have to do is not over chase and not over push and keep kind of, maybe not get too anxious. Is that how we can call it, an H2k jump the gun?
There were definitely a couple fights later on where it just felt that H2k just tried a little bit too hard. They felt like that, yeah, we have a big lead right now, maybe we can force something a little bit more, and then things don't exactly go the way they want them to.
Yeah.
I honestly think, like, if you look at this, we can let the replay play, but looking at the replay, let's go, yes. They actually, I think they just get a little overconfident. Like, Odo just walks into 3 people, and here we see the balance of Malzahar, really nice champion. And then they just overchase, and Jankos and Odo die really fast, and then it's pretty much just clean up for Rengar. And at this point, Rengar was actually really behind in the game, but because of these kills, he gets back in the game, and then Rengar, when he gets later on in the game with being fed, then it's not really fun for enemy carries when they're playing Syndra and was it Varus? No, it was Jhin. But it's the same story. It's not really fun to play against the Rengar at this point.
And on top of that, the Trundle was just there ruining everyone's day as well.
It certainly was. I mean, especially in these later game fights, basically, oh, you think you have a front line? No, he just steals away all your stats, and he was getting melted. When you stack that on top of a Malzahar as well, things get a little bit difficult. But, I mean, it got very tense because there were a lot of messy fights back and forth, especially around, like, a couple of the Baron plays, but it was eventually Unicorns of Love that were able to cap things out at the very end of things.
We want to take a look at the last game team fight. Do you think at this point in the game it had already tipped in Unicorns of Love's favor, or was there still a chance for H2k?
Like, basically, both top, mid, and jungle were already outscaling for UOL, so H2k is kind of in a situation where they have to try to pick something with Nautilus because they lose on sides. So H2k is actually doing the right thing. I think at this point they're just too far behind in the game. Like, they needed to get a bigger lead to be able to
Nobody
win the
can
game.
burst anyone down.
And then we see very balanced champion Rengar now, jumps into the carries and just...
2 versus 1.
Can't
I mean,
do
that's
much.
now twice that you've said, well, they have Malzahar, and obviously it's not that balanced because doing well, Rengar, this and that. What is this with this constant undermining of Unicorns of Love's success?
Oh, I mean, I want to praise the Unicorn because, like, it still takes skill to play Rengar properly, right? Like, even though he is an incredibly strong champion, if you get to that late in the game, like, because the big thing is H2k had a very strong lead. They looked very promising in the beginning of the game, and this is why we heard a lot of criticism from Crepo, because honestly, this was early on H2k's game to lose, and they gave Unicorns way too many opportunities to come back.
And also, we looked at our featured matchup, Xerxes versus Jankos. I feel like the fact that they got their hands on Rengar and it wasn't working out, Jankos was out jungling early. You could have said at that point, maybe Xerxes is exposed here, but as a team, they managed to pull it back in the end for the
I agree. Like, I think this game showed how good Jankos actually is, but because he was dominating the game. But if you do mistakes against the Rengar, it doesn't really matter that you're doing this good in the early game because Rengar just outscales Decent quite hard. So he didn't really have a choice, I think.
Yeah, TLDR, the Unicorns of Love win. Player of the series for us is Hylissang. We think back, of course, about some of the Bard moves, maybe not that much. A Thresh in game 1 and then the last game as well on Malzahar, always pulling the trigger and has been there for that team for so long.
He was definitely smurfing on Thresh.
All right, well, for more on that amazing Unicorns win, Dracos is standing by for a chat with Exile.
Thank you very much, Shox, and guys at the Analyst Desk. Always exciting to hear your perspective on the game, but I'm joined here now by Exile. I want to talk to you about Game 1 first. There's a lot of stuff that happened down in the series, but Katarina, always excited to talk about it. Why the Katarina pick for Unicorns of Love?
I think that Katarina overall is a good pick into Syndra, because most of the time you can push the lane first, and this is like considered winning the lane. And I think that overall the champion right now is in a very unbalanced state, and it deals way too much damage. And yeah, it's also like it fitted into their team comp because they didn't really have too much CC, so I felt like it was a good pick. Regardless, I think I played it quite sloppy in team fights. I think I had like 1 or 2 good team fights. And yeah, I think the champion right now is pretty broken.
Well, what we saw in that game was that you were kind of, we heard it from the casuals, we heard it from the desk as well. Pretty much the whole game relied on you consistently getting resets, finding ways to take people out in team fights. And I'm wondering how that affects you in game, knowing that you kind of have sole responsibility to carry in a lot of these fights.
I think that it's not that of a big deal because like all these comps we've practiced in scrims, right? Like so nothing's really new to like every one of us. So I think that's just like a normal situation that we just handle.
All right, well, speaking of that, you handled game 3 pretty well despite falling behind in an early deficit. I'm curious as to what the comms sound like for Unicorns of Love. Are you guys able to keep it together when you're at a deficit, or what does it sound like?
We knew that our comp is like outscaling the enemy comp really hard, and that we have like a 1-3-1 setup, which is like winning. So we had like our win condition over this, and yeah, we were just looking for situations where we could come back. And yeah, this is what we found eventually in the game, and then we like took the opportunity and made it finally.
One more pick that kind of stood out to me over the course of that series was the Trundle that was locked in by Vizicachi. I wanted to get your opinions, why you guys like this pick. Is it something that we have seen in the LPL, but not something that we've seen at all in the EU LCS?
We think that Trundle is overall a really good pick into some tanks, especially when they only have like one tank with like kind of a sweat like Nautilus this game. Then you just Trundle ultimate him and lock him down. And Trundle is also like only winning split push matchups, and also does final lane, so we think overall it's a really solid pick.
All right, now final question. Our next matchup, it's G2 versus Misfits. Misfits on the rise, G2 undefeated as well. Who do you think is going to take this one in the end, and what do you think the score will be?
I think that G2 is going to take it 2-0, because I think that G2 is an insanely good team. Like whenever we scrim them, we see like something that, you know, this is kind of unique as a team, that they like invent stuff while they're scrimming, and this is like really nice to see.
All right, well, thank you very much for your perspective. We'll have to see how it unfolds, but that's going to do it here for us. We're going to toss it to a quick break, but when we get back, G2 versus Misfits, winner take all.